Harmony MB.
Hey, what's up out there? Welcome to Nadia and I's living room. I'm going to be doing something a little different in this video. I'm going to be rating album covers. So I don't know if this is going to be good content or whatever, but I'm giving it a shot. So I've decided that Backstreet Boys is going to be the first album covers that I look at. Now there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, I really like Backstreet Boys. It's one of my favorite groups. Number two, I feel like my following are really into Backstreet Boys, so I've decided to do Backstreet Boys in this video. So first things first, let's start off with their first album. So the first album is the red one, and some of you didn't get this one, but here in Canada, this is the first one. I also remember renting a Backstreet Boys VHS tape, and it was from the first album, and it had all the music videos, backstage stuff, interviews, and whatever. But anyway, their first album, what can I say about it? There's nothing really that pops out to me that's like overly cool, but I do think the lighting is probably what pops out the most for me. It has this extreme lighting, which I think is kind of cool, and the contrast is interesting. The posing, the way that they're stacked up, I think is pretty cool. I do like the colors and the lettering. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to give it like a point system. So I might give this red album maybe like a 3.5, 3 being like average, and then 3.5 is like a little above average. I think I might give it that. The way they look, they look very 90s. We got Nick with the bulky curtains haircut, Kevin with the curtains haircut, Brian with the spiky hair. Actually, Brian, he didn't always wear his hair like this. In fact, most of the time he didn't, which is kind of interesting that he chose to have it spiked for the album cover. AJ with the sunglasses. Can't go wrong with that. He's the sunglasses guy. But yeah, I'm going to give this a 3.5. I like the red colors. I like the lettering with a little bit of a glow underneath it. A little above average, I suppose. So the next one is Backstreet's Back. Now for some of you, this album cover would have been your first album cover, but instead it just says Backstreet Boys. But here in Canada, it was called Backstreet's Back, and we had a few different songs on it. But anyway, that aside, what do I think about this album? Well, what I think about this album cover is the first thing that I notice is the posing. It seems like there's something very uniform about it. Like they're all kind of like this way. And if I was the photographer, I feel like I wouldn't have picked this one. I feel like I would have asked them to change up the poses a little bit just because they're all kind of like this. You know what I mean? They're all kind of slanted in the same way. That's something that I would have changed. I do like the letters. It does scream 90s, like this type of lettering with the lighting on it. I do like the background. The grungy like wall and then the brick wall. I do like that. And actually, I like the clothes too. I like their clothes. It's not overly 90s. I feel like you can get away with this type of outfit during this time. I am seeing awkward haircuts though. Nick Carter with the bowl cut. Brian with the Caesar cut. I don't prefer Kevin's hair like that. AJ just has a buzz cut. Howie actually just holding sunglasses. AJ's supposed to be the sunglasses guy. Come on. But anyway, I think I would give this maybe like a 3. I feel like this is kind of average. I think the posing could have been better. I deduct points for that. I think posing is important, and there's something just very uniform about it. Yeah, I'll give it like a 3. So the next album is Millennium. This is their biggest album. And actually, it was the songs off of this album that made me find their music and liking it. So the first thing that pops out to me is the background. They have this funky background. I don't even know how to describe it, but I wonder how they even achieve a background like this. What's the technique? Was it done on Photoshop or whatever? I don't know how you get the background like this. But anyway, something else that pops out to me is the lettering. I like this funky lettering. Like this font is really cool. There's this bluish turquoise glow underneath it, which I think is really cool. I love the colors. It's a really cool, analogous color scheme. And I like the posing too. Like I like how Kevin is like looking at the floor, he's kind of like pondering, and then we got like Howie with his hands together looking like he's in deep thought. AJ, of course, with the sunglasses, he's being the sunglasses guy again. Personally, I like the way they look here. I enjoy Howie with the ponytail and the trimmed beard and the earring. Nick Carter with the curtains haircut. This time, it's got like layers in it. It's at a good length. I like Kevin with the spiky hair and the mustache and the goatee. I just like the way everybody looks here. And I love the reflective floor. That's really cool too. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 5. I think this album cover is like really cool. I love the posing, the background, the letters, the way everybody looks, the reflective floor. Everything about it is really cool to me. Alright, next is Black and Blue. Now, this is the first album cover where the band isn't actually on the album cover, or at least their faces aren't. You see a very vague silhouette of the band, but that's about it. It's even hard to tell who's who. And then we have it split into Black and Blue. Black and Blue, there's something poetic behind the name, so I'll give it credits for that, because Backstreet Boys felt all beat up after parting ways with Lou Pearlman, who gave them an extremely hard time with their super bogus contracts, where the contracts were heavily not fair, if you will, and they had been touring nonstop all that time, and they felt like they had been beaten up. I think that's why they named it Black and Blue, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, what is the first thing that pops out to me? I think the first thing that pops out to me is that the band's not really on it. There's the silhouette. Trying to remember if some of them didn't actually have the silhouette. I think maybe I'm wrong. I thought some versions of the album didn't even have the silhouette, but maybe I'm wrong. But the lettering is okay. You know, the black and blue, like, I don't even think it says Backstreet Boys on it. Oh, it said Backstreet Boys in the side. I see. I think I'm gonna give this album cover like a 3. I like that it's different. It has more of a cold take. It feels, there's a feeling on it, you know what I mean? Like, it feels more dark, I guess you could say. Ultimately, I think this is just average for me. Alright, next. So the next album cover is Never Gone. This was after they had a hiatus for a little while, and then they finally came back. So Never Gone might be a play on words because, like, they were never gone, you know what I mean? They're just on hiatus. But it's also the name of one of their songs on the album. So what do I think about this album? I think the first thing that pops out to me is the fact that this is during, it kind of looks like evening. So you got the golden hour, the golden shine. So actually, I kind of dig this album cover. I like how you got the guy in the forefront that's kind of woozy taking their photo, and I do like the poses and the outfits. I do like the grungy contour. I think that's kind of cool. And I like the colors too. The browns. I like how the letters is brown and blue because you got like the sky, and then you got like the brown tint from the golden sunshine. It's like when you look at it, you can almost feel like the warmth of the golden hour sunshine. I'm gonna give this album cover a 5. I do really like this album cover. I think it's really cool. Okay, so the next one is Unbreakable. This is the first album to not have Kevin Richardson on it. And when I was younger, I was very disappointed. I'm like, no, man, I didn't want Kevin to leave. But anyway, what do I think about this album cover? So, the first thing that I notice is the abstract way that it's framed. And I dig it. I like the lines and stuff like that. Kind of looks like broken glass. And the lettering too is kind of cool. And this one has a motif where it's like black and white. We got AJ with the sunglasses again. Did he have the sunglasses last album? Hold on, let me check this. Let me check this real quick. I think I didn't... Ah, yeah, he does. He's the sunglasses guy. Actually, I heard that it started to affect his vision because he would wear sunglasses all the time. Did he have? Did he also have sunglasses in his hands on the Backstreet's Back album cover? Whatever. It's too much to go back. Maybe you guys can tell me. All right, back to Unbreakable. I like this album cover actually. I like the way everybody looks too. I think they found their style in a more modern era because they look pretty stylish. I like AJ's vest. I like vests. But yeah, like this is a little bit more of a modern Backstreet Boys, and I feel like they found their style within the era that they were in. I'm gonna give this album cover a 5 too. I think it's a really nice album cover. Okay, next. So this is Backstreet Boys, This Is Us. Now I have to admit, this is my least favorite album of theirs. It's interesting, I'm a pretty big fan of Backstreet Boys, but like the songs on this album, like I hardly like any of them, which is kind of interesting. I like the singles, and then all the other songs I don't really like. I don't know, on this album particularly, they started having kind of like, it had more of like a club music sound, whereas the last one kind of had pop with an edge. Anyways, what do I think about this album? So this album cover, the first thing that pops out to me is actually the background. You got the shiny background with the soft box, and then or the light box, and then you have what kind of looks like like lights that would be for like a theater or something like that. But anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I kind of like how there's extreme lighting with a dark background. That's really different from what we've seen before, and Backstreet Boys were probably conscious of this. I like the posing too. I think it's kind of fun that everybody's kind of looking in their own direction, at least slightly anyway. AJ is not wearing sunglasses in this one. I deduct points for that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna give this album cover a 4. That's what I think is a fair score for me. So the next one is In a World Like This. Now this one's really cool. It kind of looks like there's like planets in the background. And I love the water and the lighting too, like the sunshine. It kind of has a similar, golden hour motif as the Never Gone, with like the lighting with the sun kind of setting, it looks like. Everything about this album cover screams cool to me. The posing, the lettering, the planets or whatever, the gradient sky, the water, and how you can see like the reflection. Everything screams cool to me. The reflection of the water, everything just screams cool to me. The lettering too. I mean, even the lettering. I'm gonna give this album cover a 5 also. So how many 5s have I given? Like 3? I think I've given 3 so far. No, wait. Whatever. You guys will know. So the next album cover is DNA. They didn't release another album for a little while, and then they had the DNA album. So this one's very interesting too. Something that I didn't notice until later is that the staircases kind of look like a chromosome thing or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like the swirly thing? I don't know what it's called, but I'm just gonna guess it's a chromosome thing or something that has to do with DNA, the swirly thingy. Each Backstreet Boys is going up a staircase that kind of looks like what looks like DNA or whatever. I think that this is super cool. I like that it's black and white. The lettering's cool. The poses from everybody. Is AJ wearing sunglasses on this one? I don't think so. I don't think he's wearing sunglasses on this one. So for me, like, with AJ always wearing his sunglasses, I'd be tempted to wear my signature hats on all my albums. Actually, I do have a couple of albums. My brother and I try to make albums anyway. You can find that on Spotify if you want, under Bardo Twins, and a couple of the album covers I have my signature hat, But we have an EP called Unoriginal Originals, and that one is just a picture that I took. Anyway, I give this album cover a 5. I think it's really cool. Alright guys, this is our last one. So I don't know if this is good content or whatever, I'm doing it anyway. It's kind of fun, I think. Let's see. The last one is the Christmas album. So, I like the colors. So the first thing that stands out to me, actually, is the Christmas tree. So, for me, I feel like I'm nitpicking, but something kind of bothers me that not all 5 of them are holding the Christmas tree. You know, with like the Beach Boys, that album cover where they're all holding one surfboard, I feel like maybe they could have tried maybe organizing it so that all 5 of them could be holding the tree in some way. But if not, I feel like maybe they could have given AJ at the back there, like, some string lights or something like that. Some kind of prop that he can hold. Because he's the only one who's not carrying the Christmas tree. I like the lighting too. There's like this interesting lighting where their faces are lit, and then there's also this interesting lighting behind them. I do like the detail of like there being snow on the ground. And of course, they have to wear like winter clothes, and they have a motif where they're like matching, where there's like kind of like orange and gray. I'm gonna give this album cover a 4. Actually, I forgot to do an album, if this counts. They did an album with New Kids on the Block. It's just white, and it's black and white. And they've got black and white already a couple of times. Or perhaps this would be their second time, and then the DNA would be their third time having a black and white cover. There's nothing that really like spits out to me other than like the reflective floor, but we've seen that already. The letters are really whatever. The poses are okay. The poses are very like, it seems more relaxed, where it's not like they're trying to be cool. They're kind of just being themselves kind of thing. I'm gonna give this album cover a 3. 3 for average. Alright, that's all of them. So let me know what you think. What kind of ratings would you give each album cover? And let me know if yours is similar as mine. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is good content. But if you would like me to go through another band, request another band. Maybe I'll give another band a look. So, anyways, peace and love. Or what does my brother say? My brother says peace, love, and ice cream cake. Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next video.